Hello, hello, hello. And I'm back. Been away for a couple of days. Chilling out. Hello, Hensley. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate that. Hi, Lou. Hi, Jane. And hi, Shrimp Shack. Nice to hello, Gillian. Thank you for dropping by. You appreciate people coming in and saying hello. I like it. I like that, Louise. Oh, it's fantastic. Thanks, guys. Yeah, follow the link to your website there, Louise, by the way, and have a proper look at that later. Excuse me. Been a little bit sickly. Hey, hello, Angela. Thank you for dropping by. Been a little bit sickly, so not been doing a great deal over the last couple of days. Staying out of the way. Try to get back on my feet. Obviously, with everything that's going on, it's difficult to see a doctor, so you know how it is. Can't get to see anybody. They only talk to you through the phone. And you're lucky if you get that. Very much appreciated. No, thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. Thank you. What's this? It possibly is that, or some kind of chest infection or something. And it was a little bit more serious than I imagined. Than I imagined when it first kicked in. Hi, DW. Thank you. I don't know if that's going to be conducive to your meeting. It might be distracting, if anything else. But thank you for dropping by. Appreciated. Excuse me. Hey, Strife. Thank you. Thank you for dropping by. Nice to see you. Always welcome. This is more of an update kind of thing than anything else, because I've been away for a few days. But I do have a spirit box in my hand, everybody's favourite. I can annoy them with that if they want me to. But thank you. Appreciated. Doing good, sir. I've been watching. I was watching you last night, actually. Speaking to Boots and past life experiences and so on. Yeah, doing good. Apart from all the diseases, I'm feeling like crap. I'm doing good, but there you go. So thanks everybody who tuned in on Friday gone, of course. That was a bit of a grueler for everybody, a 4-hour or close to 4-hour session, which is obviously a long one for people to put up with me, Steve, and Nodge prattling on. So that was massively appreciated. I have been sending the word out to a few other channels, a few other YouTube channels. Ooh, okay. Okay, yep. Yep. Fair enough. I have been putting out the feelers to other channels to do some kind of collaboration, or at least get them onto a live stream. Obviously, there's a lot of channels out there, a lot of people that are doing the YouTube thing. Maybe ask them what got them into it. Hi, Squatching. Thank you for dropping by. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing okay. Nice to see you there. You keep sending them energies out, girl. That's what I like to see. And get some of them on here. That will explain a lot, actually. That Squatch. I did see you say something about Twitch. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so putting the feelers out, try and get a few other people just to come on and, have a bit of a chat with them, find out what got them into it, and to hear their take on things, and to give other people a little bit of exposure, say, or maybe at least chat about experiences that they've had. I mean, I've had a lot over the years, and I am going to go through some of them. Some of the personal experiences that I've had while I've been on investigations, and even when I've not been on investigations, just been, when I've been out and about. No problem at all, Squatch. No problem at all. Do that. You know where I'm at. Well, at the minute you don't, because you're not on Facebook, but yeah, I totally understand. Not a problem at all. But yeah, many experiences that not even anything to do with, deliberately being out doing an investigation or being at a location, you know, but the things that have actually happened, experiences. Okay, Shrimp. Okay, yep, I understand. Email if you want to email them to me. Hi Boots, good to see you, fella. Been watching a lot of your stuff, and you know that I've been there lurking in the live streams. Nice to have you aboard. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, Shrimp. Whichever way is easy. I will send you my email address via Facebook. Oh no, okay. I'll give you my email address. I'll put it in the comments in a little while. I'll put it out there, and then you can email it, and we'll sort something out from there. So I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, Boots Explores. Subscribe to Boots, an up and coming channel there. Getting his feet under the table, as they say. So show your love there. That's the spirit. There you go. That's what we like to see, isn't it? Yeah, I think have been in many ways. I don't think luck is the right word really, but been conveniently placed at the appropriate time to witness a lot of things over the years, and why not talk about them? Really, see what people think about it, their take on what happened. Of course, I'll explain it the best that I possibly can. Hey, you're more than welcome. No problem at all. Absolutely no problem at all there, Boots. You know, we all look after one another. Or at least that's what it's all about in my eyes. So I thought, why not tell everybody about it? See what they've got to say. There's somebody else's eyes on, or at least ears, on experience that I've had over the years, which has been many. I don't know what, due to psychosis or hallucinations, you can, I suppose that's up to you, but lots of them, and then some of them are a little bit strange, excuse me, to say the least, where not of like a paranormal in so much like fashion as seeing full body apparitions or any kind of manifestations, just very weird stuff, and visuals, auditory things in circumstances that have been questionable, shall we say. So things like that, as well as some of the things I've seen myself when I have been out on investigations. I mean, off and on, 32 years of it, you do sort of build up a lot of experiences. Whether you can explain them or not is another thing, and whether you can provide I think I was trying to say proof, but whether you can provide evidence of them again is always a difficult thing. Yeah, I'm going to highlight some of these comments. In my eyes, that's exactly what it is about, in my opinion. And that as well, I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. There's a lot of people, I've spoken to a lot of people that experience the same thing, of different colours, and can tell people how they're feeling and what's going on, or at least their emotional state, given the colour of the aura. Yeah, I have been keeping a little bit of an eye on what's been going on there, Squatch. I'm not going to say your name, but what I've been watching what's been going on there. So I do get it, but not everybody's doing that. I know a lot are, but there are people out there who do support you, and there always will be, Anyway, so it will be long and varied. I'll probably do, like, I don't know, maybe one a week perhaps, but if I say that, I'll be here for months on end. So maybe not. I might have to do more. I'll at least cover more than one incident per stream, maybe. Yeah, maybe that might be the way to do it. My intention isn't to try to turn them into big, massive, long streams where there's hours and hours of me just prattling on about something that happened to me. That's just, I was sort of wanting to keep them as short little podcasts, but we'll see how that goes. What I'll do is I'll go off the I'll go off the vibe of the people in the chat, because that's all I care about, really, quite frankly. I keep saying that and it might sound cliched, but it's true, you know. We really, really only care about the people that want to listen to what I've got to say. Or, well, the reason I say that is because I'm interested in what they've got to say. I'm interested in what people say in the chat. I just am. I really just am, you know. Yeah, thanks, Shrimp. We'll find some way. I'll put my email address in the chat so you can contact me that way if that's better. Louise, I will say here and now, and on any video when it's ever required of me, that I am absolutely more than aware of how supportive you are, and of Beth and of Mags and other people that are in the chat now, of what I do. And it doesn't get taken for granted. It's not lost on me, and I appreciate it very, very much. And I hope you know that and realise that. And if sometimes I go a bit off topic, or sometimes I can't, you know, I'm not doing the things that people may expect. You know, I realise a lot of people might not be into ufology or cryptozoology or conspiracy theories, and I understand that. But the things that I enjoy speaking about, I don't really expect everybody to follow me and listen to that. But if people do, you know, the love's there, seriously. Absolutely. I'm a massive practitioner of that book. Really am, seriously, because that's what it's about, isn't it? No, just prattling on as usual, Jane, you know. Nothing new here, just just talking, prattling along, as they say. That goes around a lot, unfortunately. There you go. There you go. And that's what it's going to be about. It's just to vary it, you know. It's because there is, I wouldn't say there's limited topics, because there isn't limited topics, is there really? Because there's always conjecture and people's opinion upon what goes on. So there isn't limited topics per se, but it's easy to burn out of ideas about what to talk about when there is so many channels up, and a lot of channels are covering a lot of what's going on. So if you wanted to talk about that as a channel, you've got to wait a little bit, you know, until it's been a few weeks since a channel that went before you has covered that topic. And I've seen people burn out. Of course, I'm not judging anybody on this, but I have seen people burn out and run out of ideas, and I understand why. Let me. Yeah, and again, I completely understand that. I'm a paranormal investigator, and I've been for many years, as people know. I keep prattling on. I should shut up about that, but I have. And but that's not all I've done. As you guys, that's not all you guys have done. You've studied all sorts. You research. I know Louise does a lot of research. You know, and I'm sure everybody else does too. And there's lots of fascinating things going on, isn't there? So I think if you sort of pigeonhole yourself as just being, you know, a paranormal investigator, then do you attract only paranormal investigators? Not necessarily so. But, you know, why not be, I don't know, look for a broader audience and get them involved? Let me have a look. Where are we at? Yes, my friend Nodge, who is going to be doing as many streams as he can. Him and Steve are going to appear on as many podcasts as they possibly can, work allowing. I've got the luxury of not having to work due to being financially stable, so I don't have to worry about working. But them two guys do, and they work very hard. So as and when allows, they'll be on to do podcasts with me. It's going to be at least every other Friday. I did want them on this Friday coming, but unfortunately they can't make that. Hi Beth, thank you for coming by. Unfortunately they can't make that, so on Friday it's going to have to be me. I'm going to use this Friday coming as me describing some personal experiences that I've had in the paranormal or the world of the strange. But it will be at least every fortnight, definitely, with Steve and Nodge. And Nodge is he's got a degree in earth sciences, so, you know, he's surrounding physics and quantum mechanics, so you might want to tune into that one, Squatch, because that's absolutely his forte and what he does, actually. So let's have a look. Yeah, absolutely, totally agree with that. That's where it's going to go, because it's that makes it more interesting for the people that tune in, doesn't it? It makes it more interesting for people listening, is to include as much of it as you can. What I do, or what I've been trying to do, is there's a few people in the chat here, right, Boots? So I will say this. I've been watching your channel. You know this, yeah? And what I'll say this, yeah? You interact with the people in the chat a lot. I've been watching this. You interact with the people in the chat a lot. You seem really honest and open about it. You seem like you want to cover as many topics as you possibly can, you know. And I think that's a very plausible place to be at. Okay, I know a lot of people can be very, very opinionated and isolated in the narrative towards what they want to say. So it's good. It is good that you do that. What have we got here? Do you want me to come on your live? Well, oh, you're only kidding. Well, what about Friday? In fact, on Friday, because it's just me talking about experiences, what I'll do is I'll put out the call to arms, should I say? So if anybody in the side chat on the Friday night does want to come up here and chat with me, then they're completely more than welcome to do that. They really are. So I'll do that and see if anybody wants to come up. Yeah, does that make sense? And the REITs, okay, I've just copied what you said there. Here we go. There with me, people, because I'm. Well, I think that depends upon who you talk to and what makes you feel isolated because of that. Bearing in mind my background in therapy and counseling and so on, that I think there is always somebody out there who will listen and somebody out there who will pay attention if you're directed to that person. But I do understand what you say. I understand what you say, but don't give up. You know, there is always people out there who will listen to you. That's why I get rid of the negativity right away. Zero tolerance. I totally, completely agree with that. Anyway. No, seriously. In fact, right, Boots, I didn't do it. I didn't really put it into words well, really. You know, I mean, quite frankly, there's a lot of people setting up channels and you know, the dickheads, quite frankly. You know, they are just dickheads. And they don't know what they're doing it for. They just want to do it, and that's fine if they want to do it. But appreciate the people that sub to you, you know, and appreciate the people who spend time on your live streams listening to you. At least if you're going to set up a channel, and that's what I was trying to say when I've watched yours, and I'm aware that in a way it's weird, isn't it? Because there's like these little pockets of people on YouTube that sort of interact with one another. And like, you know, you could see this as being a pocket if you wanted to. I mean, everybody in here is really good, and you will see that. You will learn that. You already know this yourself anyway, but you will see this when you come into this particular little community of YouTubers, if you like, that the good people. But there seems to be loads of, if you like, little pockets all over the place, you know, and sometimes they sort of intermingle, you know, and I'm sort of trying to bridge the bubbles. I'm just I've just seen a comment. I'll highlight it in a sec. Where all these bubbles sort of like communicate a little bit more, maybe, you know, even if it's just a briefly on a stream about what they like to do and all that lot. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. I've watched you too, though, as well, Hensley. You know, so I've watched you. I've watched yours. Been on the live stream, and that's what I was trying to say. I think it can be a little bit difficult to break into that pocket. It's just start to make comments in the chat and hope that people get back to you, interact with you, acknowledge that you're there, and then you start talking to people, and you know, that's how you become friends and network. Thanks very much, Beth. Appreciated. And I know that too. I do know that, and I'm not just saying it because I have been paying attention. I do pay attention, and that's what made me laugh before. You wouldn't say that if you knew what was in there, Louise. I've got a hole in my pocket. Yes, you do, Squatch. I know that, and I understand why you are fed up of not being supported in return. I'm not interested in it in the slightest. In fact, I've just spotted somebody who's out there. You should be up here with me, brother. No, I actually liked it. I like feeling appreciated in whatever kind of fashion. Yes, I do too. All of it. When I started out, there wasn't a high-tech paranormal, really. It was about as high-tech as sources of water and putting talcum powder on the floor and all like reel-to-reel tape recorders and all that kind of carry on. Yep, this is it. I think everybody deserves a chance, and people make mistakes, but you understand why people don't want to keep messing around. Then that's... Yep. That's exactly where I'm at. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this stream now, because I haven't really got any kind of topic for this particular one, apart from to let people know that I'm still around. Excuse me. Is that, you know, and entertains people or entertain one another. In fact, Boots, isn't it? You know, chatting in between in the chat there and sort of directing the course of the conversation. Now, I have seen you. I did see you, mister. You're exactly who I was referring to as well, you know. How are you doing, Nudge? So if you like any kind of like you know, good music, quite frankly, then you want to subscribe to Ambient Infinity, really, I think. But I would say that because he's my mate. But you do, seriously. Hello, Sue. How are you doing? And where have you been? What have you been up to? What did you have for dinner? I was listening to you. Thank you. I wish I had something to say. I'm behaving myself today for a change. Well, that's good. I appreciate that. But I will say this: there's always a place for misbehaving. I need to do a misbehaving cast stream. You know, like the other week, it's just absolute silliness. We need to fit one of them in. Hello, Mags. Thank you for stopping by. I sort of send energies to you so you know that I appreciate it. I think you do. You know that I like you being there. You know that. Excuse me. Yeah, there you go. Oh, well, there you go. Well, I am going to do it. My intentions are, I'll be honest as well, is that I do want a serious element to what I do. But I don't want it all to be serious, you know. There's got to be some fun in it worth doing. Hasn't there? Really? Seriously? There has to be, doesn't there? There you go. Already got you sussed out, Beth. No problem at all, Sue. There is no pressure ever, and only when you're ready. But thank you for dropping by, really. Excuse me. Yeah, that sounds all right to me, actually, that DW. Yeah. Sorry, it is a chesty type thing I've got working. So if I keep coughing up phlegm and clearing my throat, I apologize. Yeah. Give me ideas, Louise. What would you? We're overdue one of them. I am going to do one of them. Yeah, because it's fun, isn't it? Where it's just talking absolute madness with complete and utter unadulterated abandon. Yeah, I weren't 100% sure how that was going to go. I'll be honest. I really wasn't completely. I didn't know. Cheeky. Yes. You cheeky. You behave, you cheeky monkey. Oh, crap. Okay. No problem at all, Strife. Please pop by whenever you wish, and let me know whenever you're going live, or I'll be keeping an eye out. I really like to try and pop in on other people's streams. I don't do the one-way thing. If you've been on mine, I want to get in on one of yours and at least let you know that I'm there and showing my support. So I appreciate that. And if everybody wants to give Strife a subscription, a sub, a thumbs up, a little bit of love, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But thanks for popping by, Strife. That's massively appreciated. I'll just highlight this by Hensley. Yes, that's it. Spreading the love is what it's about. Let's have a look. Keep up with him. The Frankinator. Because that's the thing as well, right? Because I've been sort of knocked off my feet with this chess thing. I've been sleeping a little bit later. I've been sleeping a little, staying in, as I said before, but because of being fairly financially stable, I don't have to worry about work. So I've been sleeping in and I've been missing the shows, and I don't like doing that. You know what, right, Beth? I'm going to do a video on that box because I'm yet to find a use for it. Well, a use that can be said without being too coarse. Oh, thank you, Louise. I hope that's meant in a non-looby way. I like to give, but I certainly don't like to take. But yeah, in an information thing, absolutely, yeah, totally. Whatever opinion I might have of a certain subject is just my opinion. If it's based upon fact, then it's based upon fact, and I will say that and stick by that. But if it's just an opinion, then it's an opinion, isn't it? And they're like arseholes. Everybody's got one, and a lot of them stink. So I'm aware of that, true. But thank you, Louise. You're a good girl, you, Mags and Beth and Jane. Yeah, thanks, Strive. I appreciate you coming back. Thank you. Inbox me about that, Jane, and I'll show it you. Yeah, the intention was to keep doing the equipment. Oh, thanks, Squatch. Yes, Sue, inbox me and I'll show it you too. Oh, Max, trust you. My intention was to try and keep up with some of the, keep up with the equipment reviews. But I got bored myself doing it, really. I mean, I'm not sure how much people want to know about that, because I'm not sure I would, to be honest. Maybe, I don't know. I've got a lot of it. I've built up so much of it over the years. There's absolutely loads of it, really. There is all different types of cameras and sensors, and I've just got so much of it. It's like, how much you go back through the same old stuff in just at a certain different frequency of milligauss and micro Teslas, and do you know what I mean? Yeah, I need to deliver upon that one, Louise. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, because you're quite right. I did make promises about that one. But in fact, I've got a Hulk background, so I can get that up and running. Okie dokie, you disappear. Yeah, all right then, Squatch. You take it easy. Be safe. I'm still on Facebook, even if you're not. And if you do decide to come back, you know where to get me if you want to, or you want to talk or anything, you know. I'll quickly put my email in the chat here, just in case Shrimp Shack is around. And any kind of contact, obviously, I understand if you don't want to do Facebook. And it's in the chat. And that's an email for a very old paranormal team that I used to run before everybody run off. Oh, gold. There we go. What's this one? Yeah, I appreciate that, mate. There is a lot of it. There is a lot of it. I do that too right now, actually. In fact, although not the running around bit, but for the most of it, yeah. No problem at all, Jane. Absolutely. Ace, do it. So in a couple of weeks, I'm popping over to make sure I get the biscuits in. Oh, yes. No problem at all, Louise. No problem at all. I bet Shrimp Shack isn't there, though, now and has totally missed the email. But, oh, well. I suppose I'll just have to keep popping it in. Oop, as it were. Ooh, hey up. So, yeah, if you haven't already done it, subscribe to Boots Explore, and to Hensley Paranormal. There's a couple of good channels there. With some decent investigations lined up, wanting to get out and about and doing what everybody needs to do, which is the paranormal. Yeah, popping in and out. Yep, okay, all right, I'll put that up. All right, no problem. Thanks for that. Thanks for stopping by, Nodge. I'm going to grass you up as to who you are. That's Nodge, who was in the live stream with me on Friday. This is the gentleman who adds a little bit more sanity to the completely like weird and wacky edge of Steve. He's a good guy, Steve, but you know, he's sort of the foil. Good guy, but it's some great music on there. So subscribe to Ambient Infinite music if you can, and show your love there. But that's Nodge, yeah. Okay, so hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of him a week on Friday, I believe. Unless Nodge wants to just come in with me on Friday, that's entirely up to him. But there you go. There's Shrimp. Did you see the email, Shrimp? I'll put it in there again, just in case. Oink. There you go. It's directly under your last comment, or at least it is at my end. Where are we? Excuse me. So Beth corrupting us all. I'm not sure about that. I think you're already corrupted, to be fair. You just sort of, I think if anything, Beth might facilitate what's already there. Just more of a facilitator than an instigator, I suppose you could say. No? There's nobody else wearing that either? Sounded right in my head. Just quickly checking the Instagram. See what's going around and going down in Groovetown. So be prepared to be waffled at on Friday. Be prepared to be waffled at. And I can't make any promises that any of it's going to make sense. There you go. There you go, Nudge. I'm being really good. I'm still half asleep. But to be fair, that's the only reason you're being really good, isn't it? Because you are half asleep. If you had your wits about you, I'm sure there'd be a totally different situation entirely. Excellent. I like that. Oh, yeah. I can keep you awake all night. And I take that because it means I'm not too boring then. Otherwise, I'd make you fall asleep all night, wouldn't I? So I'm going to take that as a positive. What's this? We got Mags, nothing, 2 Red Bulls and a handful of blow can't cure. That is very, very true indeed. Did you have an afternoon nap then, did you, Mags? So, like I say, if you've been getting run ragged and you've not been sleeping well, that's never good, is it? You can only assume that's the case. So Nodge has left the building. But that's the guy. That's the guy, Nodge. He likes all that kind of thing. Also keeping an eye on Facebook because I'm getting messages since I've become an internet slut. Talking to anybody and everybody. And just because I like doing it, really. To become a little bit of an internet whore of late. Started this channel in 2009. And had videos up and down, God knows how many times, and lost subscribers and gained subscribers, and never really given it any kind of massive thought or too much of a toss, really. But over the last month or so, I've started to get into it and had the support, so that's driven it. Oh, no. So poorly as well. You're a sickling like myself. As in unwell, not in the head. Oh, you've been sickly. Yeah, you've been a poorly girl. It's never good. It's try and chill out. I don't think you come to the right place to relax, though. We'll see about that one. I like the design of your website, Louise, by the way. Really, really eye-catching straight away. Draws you in. Good graphics, like it. The colours, everything. I think it's good. Here we go. I'm going to answer that one, actually, because I like it. How is the rubber strap doing? Are you doing the exercises? The rubber strap scares me. Only because she, bless her, she's a great physiotherapist, but I think she's gone off the fact that she's 5'4" and how big she needs a rubber strap for around her knees, to me being just over 6'3", and how big my stride is, as it were. So it just, I put the rubber on, if you excuse the terminology. I put the rubber on. Oh, I really hope my mum don't listen to this. I put the rubber on, and it sort of it makes me sort of knock-kneed. It cuts off the circulation to my calf muscles, and my feet turn blue. So I've sort of given up on that one, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'll be honest, I've given up on that. But I have been doing the exercises for my knee. My knees are starting to feel better, actually, definitely. And then I've come down with this chest thing instead. No problem, Louise. I say it because it's true. It's I like it. I like that kind of thing. I got rid of my website, and I don't know why. Well, I had a cull, like it's sort of like a brainstorm where I'd like totally fallen out with the internet. So I sort of got rid of everything, took down all my pages, and got rid of the website. And really wish you hadn't now. Now that I've got a bit of a bug for doing it, sort of messed up there, really. But there you go. Oh no, I'm all about the pics. Don't have a problem with the pics. Don't have a problem with them at all. Behaving, you're trying to corrupt me. That's it. Everybody else is at fault. We like a bit of that, don't we? Oh, gold. What's this? My knees keep snapping back. It's part of my problem. It's been a bleeding problem for me, I'll be honest with you, Beth, seriously. I mean, all joking aside, it does, that band thing does cut off the blood supply to my calf muscles. You know what I mean? And I sort of, not only have I got to do this sort of like crouch crab walking thing, but because it's cutting off the supply to my knees are knocked, my feet are pointed inwards, the bottom half of my legs are bowed out, and I'm walking like a constipated bleeding penguin or something. So I don't really feel the benefit of that particular one. That is true. That is true, actually, Louise. That I don't really have an excuse for that one. I can. Do you know? This isn't a complaint; it's an observation. But with the internet being as big as it is now, lots of people can get that sort of information or a version of it. Excuse me. Anyway, and sort of get knowledge arbitrarily by typing into a keyboard, which is I concede it's a different kind of knowledge than first-hand knowledge, because you experience walking hand, as in experiences, and experience walking hand in hand with knowledge and academia. But you make a good point. You do make a good point. No problem at all. Welcome back, sir. Glad you're okay. See, look at the love there. Look, that's Auntie Mags, that, by the way, Boots. She's the worst one out of the lot, to be quite frankful. Oh, shit. Maybe not. That's probably a little bit harsh. There you go. Thank you, Beth. Boink. Thank you, Beth. I'm only using, by the way, the comments that I've got on StreamYard here. But I in your chat, have you guys got your moderator blue spanner things working? There are mods out there still, aren't there? I mean, I'm not expected to be lambasted and assaulted by a load of like trolls, at least not yet. But I'm just wondering if you've still got your the spanners of love. Yes, okay. All right, okay, cool. Thank you for the feedback on that. Yeah, cheers. Thank you. Okay. Yes, we are mods. We are the mods. There's a rocker myself. Remember that going on? Yeah, it's about the spreading the love boots. The love boots, I like that. It's about spreading the love, isn't it? I mean, my sleeping habits are absolute shit. That's just truth. So when I'm struggling to get to sleep and I think, it's 5 o'clock in the fecking morning, there's absolutely nothing to do whatsoever. Nothing to do whatsoever. And it's nice to like have a flip around, and there's a channel from guys over in the States, and they're doing a stream. It's like, well, great, there's something to listen to. There's decent chat going on. There's a little bit of interaction. It's great. What we got going here? Right. You see that? Everybody look at that, because that is true. Oh, shit. That is true. You see it? You see that? Read it, because it is the truth. Yeah. I chat from people around the world as well. So because of the time differences, I'm awake. I chat a lot with people online, not always, because I usually have clients in the real world, as it were. But I do chat with people doing counselling and therapy online, as well as chatting with people online anyway. Personally, as friends and so on and so forth. So I'm on there a lot, so I'm around a lot. And I'm not blaming my sleeping habits for that. It's just coincidental. When I always wake up every night at 2:30 a.m. Oh, interesting. Why? I know it's a little bit. What's this here now? There you go, DW. That's a direct. That's directed at you. Please answer if you would be so kind, sir. Yes. I do like abuse. I'm used to it more than liking it, but I do like it. Yeah, I've seen that. I like that though, Boots, because it sort of fits in around my world. It fits in around my world, which is a little bit cheeky, but it's true nonetheless. It's you know, you guys are up and active when I'm struggling to sleep, so listen and stay there for as long as I possibly can, and then drift off to some kind of like comatose weirdness a few hours later. So I like that. I'm a night owl, as am I. Did you get my email? You make sure you get my email, please. As in my email address, of course. I'm just waking up at that time. Yeah, sleep's a weird thing, innit? You know. Hi, Michael. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're well. Hope you're doing okay. I trust you are. Send me the... Yeah, okay. Send me the pic. Send me the pic. I have no idea. Okay. Well, there's a lot of theories about why that happens, isn't there? As I know for sure that a good chunk of you, if not all of you in the chat, will already know. There's a lot of theories as to why that happens. Okay, got the inbox there, Mags. Okay. When she's behaving. What's this? Right, okay, cool. I'm sure he's a big boy. He'll answer for himself there. Is that true? Diabolical witness. Is this true? I'll put it here. Here we go. There we go. Is that true? Is there any truth to that, or is it just shit? Excuse me. Is it just propaganda? What's this? Excellent. Ghosty hair. I love all that. I'll look at that later. Excuse me. Oh, God, rough guys. Rough guys. Another telephone consultation with a quack on Monday, so they can hazard a guess at roughly what might be going on, you know. Oh, I'm not even going to add to that. I think that's sort of been covered in that one statement alone, hasn't it? Really. Ooh. Okay. Yes. And plenty of it. Only when she has that smell of a face mask. Which is every day, isn't it? Even just everyday usage, that really now, isn't it? It's not even about protection or any kind of kink. It's a way of life, isn't it? It's a lifestyle. It's not a decision. Well, yours is very, very convincing. I could do an entire video about that. Do you know what the other one is, Mags? Is I love people's camera straps. You know, the lanyard people get around the digital cameras. That's another great one, that floating in front of the lens when they take a picture. I'm a big fan of that one. I bet there's some truth in that, actually, DW. I bet there really is some truth in that. Excuse me. So yes. Anyway, you lot. Yeah. So the Friday thing, I'll be going on about personal experiences. Weird. Trying to describe them as best I can. If there is any kind of graphical things I can put up to help facilitate the not lecture, but the rantings, I will do that. Even if it's just nicking images off Google Earth, you know how it goes. Then I'll do that, and then we'll bat it around, bat it around, see what people think. I'll put a link out in the chat here on Friday night. Should anybody who hasn't got me on Facebook wish to come up, or anybody who is on Facebook who wants to come up, then obviously I will do it via the messenger and send the link to get their bottoms up here, you know. Yeah, Google it. That's the thing, innit, though, you know. Google it. Without wanting to cause anybody any, you know, cause, or rather get any enemies here, everybody's an expert because of Google, though. That's what's turned into it. Everybody's an expert because of Google. The experience doesn't matter anymore. It's about how quickly somebody can type in and get a result on Google for the most part. And if that's the way it's gone, that's the way it's gone. You know, that's just times change. But if you're getting information, then the spread of information is good, isn't it? There's nothing wrong with people having information and being worded up on what's going on. At least I don't think there is. What's this I've got going on here? Facebook is running absolutely dog poo at the minute. Yeah, that's it. Well, yeah. Here we go. Yeah, it's just an observation. It's just an observation, that not a condemnation. I'm not pointing the finger at people for that. It's just a statement of fact. You can type in what you need to type in. In 1988 or 1989, if you wanted to find out, for the most part, about certain things like triboluminescence or ball lightning or alien abductions, there weren't even as much literature then either. There was a niche base of authors that might cover it, but you know, for the most part, there are experts. There are experts, Mags. They're experts in theory, not in actuality, because as you try, which is what you're trying to say in your statement, is if there were experts in actuality, then this would be a science, wouldn't it? And it isn't. We're all arcing after the same goal. So there's people with expert opinions, or at least what they consider to be expert opinions. In my opinion, what there is experience. You know, there's people that have got more experience than others, and some people will say that experience doesn't matter, and well, it does. It does matter. If you get somebody who's fresh out of college with absolutely nothing whatsoever, they've got an armful of pieces of paper that say that they're good at this, that, and the other, but they haven't done it. They haven't got a clue how to make a souffle, or they haven't got a clue how to build a cabinet. Then they're no good to you, are they? You need somebody who knows how to do it, really. Theory is good in theory, but practicality and experience also play a part. I think there's a place for all of it, is what I'm trying to say. I think all of it is good, and all of it is relevant. But don't, for the people that want to sit on their high horse and go on about how clever they are. I've met all these people before, well before YouTube as well. You know, I know this and I know that. It's like, well done. Go and give yourself a pat on the back if your arm's long enough. You know, you carry on with the Self-Appreciation Society because I'm not interested. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm sure you know loads. I'm sure you're wonderful. You carry on, you know. You know, I just find it interesting. There's a place for all of it, isn't there? Surely. There has to be, doesn't there? Yeah, no problem at all, Jane. You take it easy. Yeah. So Mags is saying is beware of people who claim to know everything, because they don't. People don't. No, well, the people that are claimed to have done. But yeah, there isn't anybody that's actually died and come back and given an interview, is there? They haven't sat there and told us what it's like. I said, well, actually, yeah, this happens and that happens and all that lot. They don't. Yes. And the funny thing is their level of the qualifications that they get in their psychology are not at the same level that I've got. And I don't consider myself to be a parapsychologist, but yeah, there are courses that are doing it, and lots of them. I mean, it's years since I went to university or done anything like that, but I keep up with regular, you know, the character development things once every 3 months, quarterly. A lot of it's about CBT and DBT now. And that seems to be the place that they all want to go. But there is universities that do parapsychology. I also think that the psychology of the psychologists is something that should be in question. You know what I mean? Physician, heal thyself, as they say. Well, that's the thing. The thing about demonology is I don't let beliefs get in the way. I totally understand what you're saying. I don't let beliefs get in the way because I'm aware other people have beliefs. So if they have beliefs in demonology, I feel I need to be versed in their claims, if you like, to be able to come to, or at least be able to give a radical explanation, or a rational rather, or prosaic explanation as to the experiences that they're having, if it's during an investigation that I'm conducting, and to be able to facilitate some kind of end game because of that, rather than not just outright saying, look, I don't believe in demons whatsoever, so you're talking out your ass. Because if they do, you still need to understand where they're coming from with that mindset, if that makes any sense. No, I think you should, though. I know you're not, and I know that you're only joking. But there's also, here we go. Yeah, absolutely. There's loads of it all over the place. Spirit box again, yeah. We're for you. ITC research is a good thing if it's done correctly. But who's to say? Who's to set the parameters of what's correct and what's not? A lot of people don't hold any store whatsoever in spirit boxes or apps and anything like that. You know, they have they won't use it. They just want to debunk it without, you know, giving it a go. A lot of people do give it a go and still don't want to use them. But I don't want to use any equipment. This isn't me speaking, but it'll give you a sort of like example. Is people who don't want to use any equipment whatsoever. They just want to go out and experience it themselves. And it's like, well, really, you're not really, then you're becoming a witness, aren't you, really? I mean, we all are if we're in a paranormal environment and something happens to us, but you don't have any way of logging the ability to debunk what you're experiencing in a at least pseudo-scientific way. That was a long drawn-out explanation. Yes. Well, this is what got me into it, actually. I mean, I didn't get a doctorate. I could have done. I didn't. But I'm not going to say what qualifications I've got. I might. I'll show everybody the bits of paper if they want to see them. Because I just, the reason not is because I don't really think it's massively relevant in a huge way. It's a part of it, but it's not all of it. Because I'm interested in the human mindset that surrounds certain elements of the paranormal, but I'm also interested in the experience side of it on a personal level myself. And I don't want to be sort of like that. It sort of like gives like a dichotomy on almost like a clash of interests in it. So I don't really want to. I don't go down that route too much if I can avoid doing it. Although I'm trained to be a therapist and a counselor, of course, but the qualifications in psychology are there as well as other things. But it doesn't mean it gives me any more right to walk around a haunted location with a Mel meter than anybody else is what I'm saying, you know. But that fraternity do sort of frown on it because their instant explanation is to go towards it being a psychological thing, rather than a spiritual, ethereal, or astral thing. No, weirdly, a lot of people I have seen this said that say if you believe in it, you're more likely to experience it, and if you don't, you don't. I don't agree with that because I know lots of people that don't believe in it, but have seen something you know, I've seen things myself, and I know people that have said, I don't believe in it, but I did see something that I can't explain. So they weren't predisposed towards they weren't predisposed towards wanting to do it or wanting to have an experience. They didn't believe it, but they still experienced something. So I don't think that necessarily true. I think it's a bit of a sweeping statement to make that. No, well, yeah, but that's not what it's about, is it? It's about if the people that you are dealing with believe in it, it's their belief system, not yours. And if they believe in it, then it's about understanding their mindset to give them the right type of advice, is what I'm trying to say. You know, if it's terminology and symbology, isn't it? That's where you're at. I mean, you can argue semantics over this until you're blue in the face, but it's about symbology and terminology, really. And as you know yourself, Mags, and people in chat, control. And long before state laws and government laws, there was theological implications of not abiding by a certain set of rules that were put down to facilitate a particular mandate in society, i.e. religion, which was still a control mechanism. So that's the reason that they come about. But I mean, there's also the others that jump as far away from possible as the word demon because of the connotations that the media portrays it as, and that's the danger. Now, I see past that. It's not how it comes across to me. When I hear that, I think of it as a negative energy. Now, whether it's negative as in universal or a negative energy as in somebody's mindset, then I see it as being a negative. And that's just a label. It's a terminology. Like a banana is a banana because it's a bent yellow piece of fruit. But if it hadn't been called a banana and it had been called a car, we would refer to them as cars. There would be long, bent yellow cars, but we would refer to them as cars. So I think people get wrapped up in the terminology more than it's just to facilitate a meaning. But when the media portrays it in the way that it does, and the religion portrays it in the way that it does, that's sort of you're going to get that. It's difficult to escape that kind of narrative because of that very reason. Absolutely correct, DW. I totally agree with that. 155 million%. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't mean if you're trained in a particular profession, it doesn't mean that you're not worth any worth just because other people don't recognize that worth or because they haven't got that same level of education or learning. What I'm saying is it's application of that in the right circumstance that makes it relevant. There you go. You see, that's exactly what I'm saying, isn't it? And I knew that you were getting where we were going with it because that's where it at in it. That's the that's the bread and butter of it, really. And that's the way it's gone. And they've used the term demons and demonology and all the rest of it for that reason, is as a control mechanism. And then the esotericism of it and the alluding towards the dramatization and the romanticism of it as well. I mean, I've done quite a bit of studying on demonology to be fair, Mags, and that might not come as a massive surprise. But I'm aware of many of the names that get used and how they get thrown around and all this lot, and that they're supposed to be lords of such and such an element of such a high order and such with such a number that relates to a gammatraic principle of explanation of events within time and the realms that they come from as a result of that. So I've studied it, and it's don't shut your mind off to it because of religion, because it goes further than that. It goes towards belief, and belief isn't necessarily just tied to religion. It can be tied to antithesis as well as theological bindings. So that's why I pay attention to it, is because of other people's belief and not my own, if that makes any sense. I can't answer that one. Hello, Selena. I get devil a lot on my ghost box. Yeah, there's a lot of words that use them particular phonemes, so it can come through quite a lot for that reason. I mean, do you actually use the Spirit Box a lot, Shrimp Shack? Do you? I mean, it seems to obviously there's some that are better than others, but they seem to sort of like die off. You know, it's sort of waves of being in vogue and waves of not being in vogue, if that makes any sense. Getting all sorts of messages coming through on Facebook, and I just can't get to them because Facebook's running so bad. Okay, you do, yeah. Right, so you use it quite a lot then, I take it, Shrimp, yeah? Is it, obviously you're not back in the days of the manual sweep, because that was some very, very short Spirit Box sessions because of the manual sweep, you know. I take it, what are you using? I mean, a lot of people slam the PSB 7 because of the chuffing noise, you know, the train sort of huffing, puffing, chuffing noise in between. Excuse me. On the actual sweep, the white noise pulses. But I find them interesting. I've had things come through on them, which are the pulses in between the radio stations. Ah, Roberts, okay, cool, yeah. Well, yeah, an imagery into it in the clown dream. There's the symbology of the cross. Byzantium. Because that's what it's about. If you've got 2 million people believing in one and 2 million people believing in another, and you control the both, then you've got 4 million people believing in you, ostensibly, you know. Yeah, I remember you saying that actually, Mags, that you like to do the manual sessions on the Spirit Boxes. I burnt out with them years ago. I say I wouldn't do them again, like, but sort of burnt out with well, with all the manual side of it, like sitting there and spinning it. It's like very, very short sessions because it's boring, especially if there's nothing going on. I mean, for me, Spirit Box sessions for the most part, yeah, and I'll sit there and I'll say, oh, that sounded like such and such a thing. Oh, that sounded like it said Dave, or oh, that sounded like it said, you know, Onion Bargy or whatever. It doesn't mean that that's what I think it is saying. By the way, I will say that out loud now over the internet here. That I'm not saying that is what it is saying, just that it sounds like it is saying that. I think a massive proportion of massive proportion of Spirit Box sessions are nothing really. If I'm doing a Spirit Box session and it's just randomizing words, saying anything that sounds like a word, and we can say, well, that sounded like it said such and such a thing. It's like, well, yeah, but I asked what day it was. I didn't want to wear a chicken sandwich. It's not the correct response. It's just randomized stuff coming out of a Spirit Box. Then for me, I'll throw it away 100%. And I throw a lot of it away because it's what, you know, I think Jason R. I mean, these aren't like, you know, good ones really, don't suppose. But, you know, Jason R's and what have you would turn around and say, you know, if in doubt, throw it out. And I don't agree with a lot of what they do, quite frankly, or a lot of the TV paranormal investigation teams. But it is a mantra that I do subscribe to: is if in doubt, throw it out. What's this? Yeah, and I've seen Beth's answer to you there, but I'm still got my doubts. I'm sort of with Beth on that one. But you know what I'm saying? You know, it's the same as you can take photographs of all sorts of stuff, you know, and pareidolia and apophenia is a big part of people's addiction, if you like. Might regret saying that, but I'll have to stick by it. Of at least fanaticism or interest in the paranormal, sort of driven by that, because it appears that its results. It appears that its results. So in the 1990s, I've done a lot of residential investigations, and a lot, and I mean a lot now. Several a week, massively busy. And this is there was obviously like the films, like horror films and ghost films and all that kind of thing, but it wasn't portrayed. It wasn't as big in the media as it is now, obviously. And so experienced a lot because of that, and a lot of it was boredom. What I experienced, and I don't mean boredom that I didn't enjoy doing it, but that nothing actually happened. A big chunk of it, nothing was happening. It was people scaring themselves by noises in old houses coming in from outside, reflections of light, refractions of light. There were lots of reasons that people were having what they considered to be experiences and scaring themselves shitless because of it. And another big chunk of people that were scaring themselves were people that had a religious background too, because of the very reasons we've discussed. They thought it was, it was a bad juju, demonic or whatever. So, but a big chunk of it, and this is harsh truth, over, I don't know, say a decade, it's been more than that, but the 90s were particularly busy, was nothing, there was nothing going on. There really wasn't. 99% of the time, and maybe even a little more than that. If I have to be completely critical about it, and over 99% of the time, nothing was happening. It just, I'm going to post that up there. But it didn't stop me doing it. Yeah, you should have parameters when using it, because where do you draw the line at accepting a word that comes through a spirit box? I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. Where do you draw the line? What if it isn't in response, if you was talking to somebody out in the street and you said, hello, how are you doing? And they said, fish finger. You think they're off the nut, wouldn't you? Is what you would think they were off the nut, is what you would think. Really? Hello, Sue. Thank you for dropping by. Hope you're okay. Thank you. That would be, you were speaking to somebody on the street. What time is it? And they said, this is, I think, fish finger. I think that, what are you even talking? That isn't a response. You're talking out your nut. Yeah. Yeah, you'd be waiting for the facial tick as well. And so I don't see how it's any different if you're using a spirit box, personally. I'm not saying it's exactly the same parameters for EVP, because you can leave audio devices in locked off situations without doing any shout outs and still get EVP. But again, I think you still need to have some parameters about what you would consider to be relevant, even when you're doing that. But you know what I'm saying, don't you? If you're doing a spirit box session, you ask questions, and what's coming back to you is completely gibberish, then are you getting responses, or are you just hearing what sound like words? And if you're using a spirit box which is generated by radio frequencies, then obviously you're going to be hearing words, because people talk on radio. So, you've got to be critical. You've got to be critical, dudes. Exactly. I completely agree with it. You've got exactly the same mindset as I have about spirit boxes, Max. You truly have. 100% o'clock, because that's where I'm at with it. If it's not relevant, then it's irrelevant, isn't it? Surely, by the very definition. If it's not in response to what you're asking, and it's nothing to do with the location that you're at, and you're just hearing randomized stuff, then it's gibberish. Yeah. Well, responses. It really is all about relative responses as well. Not just what I expect or want to hear. Does that make any sense? Sure it does. You wouldn't talk to people in the street for too long with just randomized stuff coming out of the mouth, because you just consider it to be gibberish, or that they were, insane, or just winding you up, surely, or something of that ilk. Yeah, one of my favorite words, that DW Exorcist. Spirit displacement, house cleansings. Yeah. I'll tell you this as well. A good portion of the house cleansing and spirit displacements change the psychology of the client to experiencing a calmer environment rather than actually getting rid of any alleged spiritual activity. It changes the mindset of the people that are there to feel more at ease with the location. So it's the same thing, but it's not got the same sauce, if that makes... Yeah, that does make sense. Isn't it? That's where that's where we're at. Putting people at ease so they want to stay back in their house. Bub, 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 bub. Confirmation of a doctor's appointment, I would imagine. Yep. So there you go. Wait. Well, get this. 90% of investigations, it is, Louise, well spotted. 90% of why is every single spirit pretty much evil? Every single one, really. All right, that's a sweeping statement to make. Not every single one, but big chunk of them, aren't they? All of them. Every single person. If you're led to believe what people would like to lead you to believe. Excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. I feel rough. Then every single spirit that you make contact with, if it is indeed a spirit energy, is all evil. My great Auntie Enid, lovely woman, Salvation Army, all that kind of stuff in life, but she crosses over, somebody does a spirit box session, and all of a sudden she's like Baal or some kind of demon like that. You know what I mean? He wants to eat people's souls. I just find it amazing. We will discuss this later. You know what I'm saying, though, don't you? It becomes ridiculous. Every single thing. In something like in like 30 years. Well, I want to say 32 years because I started off as 16 as a junior member of a small team, and there was some I weren't allowed to go on because of my age. Okay, but a good like 30 years of it. So over them 30 years, there's got to have been 3 or 4 incidents where there's activity, as in physical activity, where heavy objects are being moved about. I haven't been able to explain. And that's all really I'm willing to say about it, or at least for now. But the other 27,495 times, there's been nothing like that. It just isn't at the level that people think it is. It isn't as frequent as people think it is. It just really isn't like that. It just isn't, guys. They just happen to be there when the portals of hell have opened up and all the Satan's minions have poured forth. Exactly. And the first thing they want to do is they want to chat to like, Jimmy Smith from Liverpool. You know what I mean? He's the first port of call for all these like portents of evil. Yeah. Again, that's a good point. So I mean, if you're doing it, it's fundamentally the same thing. Really, is focus and intention, isn't it? You're doing the same thing if you've got an electronic voice recorder. You're asking for something to come forward and communicate. If you do a spirit box session, you're doing the same. Automatic writing, you're doing the same. ITC water research, you're doing the same. And I think people lose sight of that. What we got going? Nice. I think that the people do get wrapped up in the demon side of it. All I'm saying is I pay attention to the demonology side of it, because if it's in relation to the explanation of a negative energy, then it is just, it's terminology and labeling things. If it's about somebody's belief system and mindset, then it's about understanding their belief system and mindset. Whether or not you believe it's little entities running around, as you've said there, Shrimp, whether it's like imps running around with pitchforks that they're going to jab inside your ass, and you'll be in the pit of fire and sulfur for all eternity, then that's up to you. If that's where you want to go with it, then who am I to stop you believing that? I have no problem with it. I'm not suggesting anything or giving answers for anything. Just that there is a psychological mindset. There is a mindset about people believing things, and in the paranormal community, where they're predisposed towards an outcome before they've even conducted the investigation to get an outcome. And I think that's where I'm going with it. Do you know what I mean? Does that make any sense? I hope it does, because that is what I mean. And it's each to their own, isn't it? I just think if you're doing an investigation at a residential location where you're trying to help out a family, then don't go in there assuming everything's just demons, because that's what suits your kind of fantasy, as many investigators do. And I'm speaking generically when I say you, not any particular one person, but people do that and then go into a location and they have all this mystique and wow and wonder and whimsy, and it affects the people you're doing the investigation for. And I don't think you should be doing that. You should go in impartial. That's the thing. I mean, perhaps you have got something he wishes to talk to you about, though, Mags, Perhaps you are that special person. What's Louise put there? There you go. It was all just a daydream. So what you're saying, DW, that it wasn't actually it wasn't like autobiographical meme, or rather emoji of yourself. That's good. That's always good. You see, you get where I'm coming from, don't you? And that's the thing. He's all these devils and demons and minions are very, very busy. I'll give them that. They've got a full itinerary. Right, okay then, people. I appreciate you dropping by. I'm going to get out of here. There's a couple of things I need to do. Nothing overly fantastically important, but thank you very much for dropping by. It's appreciated. Thanks to everybody. There's been a few popping in and out, so I'm not going to give names. If it's the first time you've joined in and watched any of these shenanigans, then massively appreciated. Welcome on board, and thank you to everybody who always comes in, the hardcore elite, shall I say. And watch out, because I'll be back on again soon. I'll just put this out. There you go, like Buffalo Bill. So take it easy, everybody. Thanks very much. Show the love. Okay. No thanks, Shrimp. You've got my email address, I think, I hope. So should you want to send anything to me, that's all good. I'll be back again soon. You know that. Probably, maybe tomorrow, maybe later. In fact, I don't know. We'll have to see how I get on. Like I say, I've been a little bit poorly, but I'm getting there. Poor me. I'll go and make myself feel better by watching somebody else's video, somebody else's stream. I appreciate the support, guys, okay? And I'll be back very soon. And you all take it easy. Much love to everybody out there, okay? Stay safe, and thanks again.